I'm Tabitha Coley and I help women feel confident with makeup. Let's do a full face of no makeup makeup. You might be surprised to know that no makeup makeup actually requires a lot of makeup. I've started with a little bit of skin prep. My skin should look hydrated, maybe even a little shiny. That's just who I am as a person. Nothing I can do about it. The first thing I always do is brows, and I love this pencil from 1999. It's great for blondes. It's great for people who are tending to be a little bit cooler in skin tone because this is a gray pencil. My skin tone is neutral, so I love this. It's very close to my natural hair color. Always begin by brushing my brows upward so I can see what I'm working with. They're pretty thin. I plucked them all out in college and they just never really grew back. So I like to thicken them up a little bit. I think that brows are something that everybody can spend 2 minutes doing, and it'll make a huge impact on the overall lift of your face and appearance of youthfulness. It's very common for women, especially if you have thyroid stuff going on, which I totally do. You'll start to lose brow hair from this outer corner. So I like to draw that in, but I also like to keep it all very soft, very subtle. I don't ever want someone to look at me and think, God, she drew her brows on. So if you see me and that's what you're thinking, please tell me. I would like to know. So I go back in with the spoolie end of this pencil and I just diffuse out any lines. So now what we have is just a really soft, natural brow. I haven't tried to create any brand new shapes. I'm just working with what I already have, and that's one of the keys to natural no makeup makeup. Okay, the next place I'm gonna go is just add a little bit of a tinted brow gel just to give it the tiniest bit of hold so that the brow hairs don't go all over the place. So I'm just brushing these upwards and a little bit over, trying to naturally fill in any areas of sparseness. Next, I like to do eyes. For this no makeup makeup look, I'm gonna use this cute little trio from Westman Atelier, Bonne Chance iPods trio. And these are great because they're just magnetic. Awesome for travel. I travel with this little one all the time. And the two colors that I'm going to use today are this beautiful, just very natural sheer pink. And this, don't be afraid of how deep it looks in the pot. It's actually very sheer when applied. I'm going to use a brush that allows me to just pack this color onto my eyelid. And really what I want to do is load up the brush. I'm packing it in. And that means that instead of sweeping all over my eye, I'm using the brush to push it into the skin of my eyelid, just all over this movable part of my lid, the part that moves. Okay, so push, push, push. It's almost like a push and press. And that's what packing means in makeup. I'm gonna load up my brush again before going to the other side. I love how just creamy these little powders are from Westman. We're just packing, packing, packing all over. There's really no way to mess this up. Notice that I'm not really going all the way up to the eyebrow. I'm leaving this part right here open and pressing it in using both sides of the brush. Okay, and now we have a nice bright eye-opening color that just very subtly makes me look a little bit more awake. And that was the color Bijou. Now I'm gonna take this brown color called Frappe, use this brush. This is a brush from Smith, and it's an amazing crease detailing brush. This is no makeup makeup, so we just want everything to be very sheer, very blended. I like how fluffy this is, and the shape is absolutely perfect for getting into your crease. So what I'm doing here is I'm loading up both sides of the brush. I'm gonna take this little point and I'm gonna place it right here. This is also gonna be the most concentrated point of the product. Remember this little tip, anywhere you first put the brush, that's going to deposit the most amount of product. And I like to start out here because what happens is it creates a little shadow that creates a little illusion of lift. So I've placed the point of the product here, and now I'm just going to sweep back and forth, and the shape of this brush is perfect for just blending and depositing a higher concentration of color exactly where I want it. Blending back and forth, this kind of windshield wipery thing. Again, with these particular shadows, you really can't mess up. They're so sheer. Do you see how subtle the difference is from this side to this side? Okay. Also, this side is just naturally a little bit more lifted. That's just my face. I sleep on this side. Oftentimes, that's what will happen. The side that you sleep on gets a little bit pulled up while you're sleeping, and the other side droops down a little bit more. So this is just the natural asymmetry of my almost 49-year-old face, and we just work with it. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So I'm coming back in, and I'm placing the point right here, just in this outer corner of my eye, making these windshield wipery motions here. This brush is also amazing for hooded eyes because it is depositing color right here. And this is what you want if you have a hooded eye. You want to see that color just above the crease. A lot of times brushes will only deposit color directly into the crease, which is not really great for hooded eyes at all. All it does is make them look more hooded. So notice that I'm doing this with my eyes open. That's something to practice. It takes a minute. But when you do it with your eyes open, you can see what you're doing and you can see where the color is getting deposited. More detailing, making sure that I like that. I do. I'm just gonna grab a little bit more product. And this time I'm really just getting it just right on the tip. It's just the point of this brush to come right underneath the lash line. This is just creating a very soft, very pretty little shadow down here. It's so much more subtle than an eyeliner. Can you see that? Same thing other side. Don't forget to load up more product on and try to be symmetrical about it. Here we go. Just dancing from the outer corner, kind of connecting that shadowing that we did out here all the way to the inside. I'm going to use this Minky Grayish by Swede, which is just this really beautiful grayish. I'm actually going to tight line my upper lash line. And how we do that is we're just going to come in, you're going to get up close and personal with my eyeball. We're just going to come in and just run the pencil along the underside of the lashes. Yup. And you can go all the way into the inner corner with this. This does take some practice. I wear contacts. Yes, you can do this if you wear contact lenses. So just practice, practice, practice. But I'm just trying to get a little bit of definition right at the root of the lash. Same thing, other side. You just kind of pick up your lid and we're just running this pencil just on the underside. If that's too subtle for you, you can always go back in from the top and just get very, very close to your lashes. I like to do it this way, making little tiny dash marks. just right next to the lashes. Not trying to be precious about making a line, it just doesn't matter. We're creating the illusion of a thicker fringe at your eyelash line. Take a little detail brush with a fine point, just smudge it. Just drag the brush lightly along that lash line, just to give it a little smudge. And now it really does just look like a shadow. There's nothing there that looks like eyeliner. I could curl my lashes in this moment. I'm not going to. My lashes are very long naturally, and this mascara gives them a little bit of a curl. So I'm not going to curl them. I'm just going to mascara. And I like to get as close to the base as I can and give just a little wiggle. That helps get more of the product at the base of the lashes. Making a weird face while you're putting on your mascara, definitely encouraged. So I do like to put just a little bit on the lower lash. Nothing crazy, just a bit. Okay, moving on to complexion. This is, I always start with putting the product a little bit onto the back of my hand. Please don't put the dropper onto your skin. It's just for Instagram. It's just for show. It's also a really great way to introduce bacteria into your product. And I'm using a foundation brush. I like this one. It's got a flat head. They come in all different shapes. But the main thing is that I like to use the brush to take it from the back of my hand. And now I have the amount of product on my brush that I want. So I'm not just blop, blop. I'm working the product into the brush bristles a little bit so that when I do go to put it on my face, it's not just a big glop. Start in the center because this is where we tend to need a little bit of help with color. This is where we tend to accumulate more of the redness, more of the pores. It's helpful to have a foundation here. This is really what foundation was made for. Now I really like this one. It is quite a bit dewy, so it might be, especially under this lighting, making me look even more dewy. But at this point in my life, I'd rather look a little overly dewy because that's something we can always correct with powder than overly dried and dried up. With this brush, I'm just pressing that foundation into the skin. You can see I'm kind of pushing it in and blending outward toward the edge of my face. The other thing I love about this particular product, the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint, aside from the SPF, is that it's full of skincare ingredients. So at this point, there's no reason to buy makeup that doesn't have skin benefiting ingredients. There are so many options out there. No makeup foundation. That kind of smoothed me out and took away some of the natural pigment and contours that I had in my skin. And I want to add a little bit back, but I want to do it strategically. So what I'm going to add is a little bit of a cream bronzer from Mob Beauty. I use a little spatula, and this is not a bad habit to get into at home if you have cream products. I do this because I need to keep all of my makeup clean and sanitary for using in my kit for all my clients. Something, a little scoop, a little spatula, even the end of one of your brushes to scoop out the cream product, and then again, put it on the back of your hand, you're going to maintain the integrity of the product longer, so you're not exposing it to all of the bacteria from your fingers by dipping in. You're also going to be able to use it in a way that allows you to have more control. So if you're just taking a scoop and putting it on your skin, you've got a big blob of product and it's probably really heavy and thick in one area, and now you have to work really hard to blend it out. If you take a little bit of product, put it on the back of your hand, let it warm up, then you can take your brush, kind of work it around. Now you have the amount of product on your brush that you really want on your skin. So I'm going to take the brush, and the place that I actually want to start with bronzer is right up here, because this is a place that the sun would naturally hit me. Right into this upper cheek. And this is this is another Smith brush. This has slightly firmer bristles. I'm adding this very, very soft wash of bronze right here. And I'm going just a little bit into my temple, top of my cheekbone, getting a little bit more product from the back of my hand. Balancing the other side. This should be very, very soft for our no makeup look. We are not trying to make it appear to anyone that we are wearing bronzer. We just want to look a little bit sun-kissed. So I'm going to take what's on the back of my hand that's left on the brush and just dance it a little bit over my forehead, up into the hairline. And I like to go just a little bit over the point of my chin, the jawline, and across the bridge of the nose. Again, we're keeping this so soft, so subtle. No makeup. I'm going to go with a very neutral, creamy blush. This one is also from the Mob Beauty. You can see it's kind of this rosy color, which is what my cheeks do naturally. Using the same brush that I used for bronzer, because it probably still has a little bit of that bronzer on it. Pick up some blush, and here I'm gonna come a little bit closer toward my nose, but I'm still gonna stay this is about 2 fingers width away from my nose. Okay, and I'm just gonna deposit a little dollop, and I'm gonna get some more product. And I'm gonna do the same thing right here. Deposit just a little dollop. And now I'm gonna come in and blend that. And I'm blending it up toward my temple, downward strokes with the brush, moving up my face. That makes sense. So I want the blush to be higher up here, and I want it away from the center of my face. I'm gonna take a little bit more, whatever's left on the back of my hand. I'm actually gonna come right into this area, the brow, and that just kind of marries the blush together. How's that look? Everything's blended? Yep. I am gonna go in with just the tiniest bit of concealer, and here's how I like to do concealer. Back of the hand, the tiniest bit of this, coming into the under eye area, just right into the corner of my eye, and this kind of darker hollow here, coming up the outside corner of my eye. Just tapping it in very gently, making this V shape again. I smoked for 14 years, pack a day. Terrible idea, kids, don't do that. It left me with a little bit of discoloration and lines around my lips that I sincerely wish I could erase, but I can't, and I'm not doing lip filler. at this moment. So I like to give it just a little bit of concealer. Okay. Great. And this, my friends, is our no makeup makeup look, except for lips. Now with lips, one of the things that I love to do is a lip liner and just top it with a little bit of gloss. Today, I want to show you some lip colors that are a little bit more vibrant. It's a matte formula, but it feels very creamy and hydrating. I love this color. I could live in this color all day, every day. And this to me is like just a little bit your lips, but better. How fun is that? It's like a really, really wearable orange, carrot cake, dreamy. This will look good on so many skin tones and is such a fun way to update your color palette for spring. Now let's bump this whole look up just a titch. Swede, if this brand is not on your radar, they need to get on your radar. Part cream, part powder. It's like cream to powder blush. Air blush is what it's called. I am crazy about this color. It's gold right here. And I'm just gonna load it up on my finger so that we can add just a little bit of pop to the eyelid. We've just taken our no makeup look, bumped it up a notch, and made something really fun. I would wear this to work. I would wear this going out, date night, walking around town, going out to dinner, you name it. I hope this inspires you to go have some fun with your makeup and appreciate just how beautiful you are. I'm Tabitha Coley, and I help women feel confident with makeup.